Hey guys, Isabel here. Welcome back to Railden. So I know this video is a bit late. It's been kind of a busy week for me, but I really wanted to get out to you guys before the next What If episode, so I might just be making it just in time, honestly. But last Wednesday, episode 6 of What If came out. Basically, what if Killmonger rescued Tony Stark? In this episode, I will be giving sort of a breakdown and review and just things that I kind of noticed about the whole episode. So in this episode, it starts off with the same opening scene from Iron Man. Tony Stark is in Afghanistan showcasing his new weaponry. We get the famous picture scene as well as the explosion that attacks Stark's convoy and the soldier getting shot. All of it happens in the live action, all of it. A Stark missile lands next to Tony, and on the live action / Sacred Timeline movie, this blows up and is the source of the shrapnel that becomes embedded in Tony Stark's chest, therefore causing him to build his arc reactor / first Iron Man suit to keep him alive. But here, Killmonger shows up and just throws the missile. Okay, did it just like that. But in doing so, he saves Stark and causes Tony's fate / destiny to be altered. Also, Killmonger actually being in Afghanistan to save Stark references the scene in Black Panther when when Ross is explaining who Killmonger is and how he did countless assassination missions in Afghanistan. I also really like the Watcher's quote here.
Heroes are not born. They're forged in darkness, shaped in battle, defined by sacrifice.
Like, no matter how you may feel about Iron Man or Tony Stark or whatever, it is absolutely clear that without Tony going through this initial journey, Iron Man never came to exist. And technically, neither did the Avengers. And with no Avengers means no saving the universe countless times. Also here, the Watcher is quite clear and super close to our screens. I can take this into meaning that the Watcher is getting closer and closer to coming into our world, or all these timeline worlds that he's watching over. Literally, if he actually intervenes in the season finale, I will freak out. In a good way. But Tony makes Killmonger Chief of Security, which is actually the title given to Happy, I believe in Iron Man 3. Killmonger also mentions the 10 rings, which until now I never realized how involved it kind of is with Tony Stark and his story. The Mandarin, or a facade of the Mandarin, is literally the big bad in Iron Man 3? 2? 3. As well as Obadiah being a sort of henchman for them. And now with the Shang-Chi movie, it's all connecting, and you should go see the Shang-Chi movie. It's really good. And if you want to, you can click up here to watch my movie review for it. And Tony makes Killmonger the new COO, which in that live action, he actually gives that title to Pepper, I believe in Iron Man 2. Killmonger says his dad died due to gang violence, but since we've seen the Black Panther movie, we know that King T'Chaka is actually the one who murdered him. Tony and Killmonger test out the Liberators with a similar video montage that Tony did when he was testing his first Iron Man suit in the first Iron Man movie. In trying to find a successful power source for the Liberators, Tony Stark gets the quick idea to miniaturize an arc reactor.
Hey. If we could miniaturize an arc reactor, oh, that's a dumb idea.
Which is what his Iron Man suits are powered by, and also how he survives with the arc reactor in his chest. I think the funny thing is that he just kind of throws it away as a stupid idea. In another timeline, that keeps you alive, man. And when talking about vibranium, Tony says this about his father.
What we need is vibranium.
Too bad Pops used up the last of it during the war.
And I wonder if that is a reference to Captain America / Steve Rogers / Howard Stark making Captain America's shield, because his shield is made out of vibranium. So we can now kind of tell that this is definitely an Iron Man / Black Panther crossover, with the big bad villain of Black Panther, Ulysses Claw, making an appearance. And here, during the quick Black Panther fight scene, we hear the signature drums, a major instrument in the Black Panther soundtrack. Also, Killmonger kills T'Challa and Rhodey. Have we not been through enough? But he does kill them, and the Dora Milaje walk down with a casket, which you know has T'Challa in it. Written on top in the Wakandan language are the words Wakanda Forever, which is a very nice tribute to the late Chadwick Boseman. And we do get more of a tribute to him in the later part of this episode. And now Killmonger kills Tony. For all you Tony stands out there, sorry this is like the 5th death you've had to see of him. But we get to see Killmonger actually add one of his marks to his skin, adding another kill. And I may be wrong, but I don't actually believe we saw this act in the Black Panther movie. So I just thought it was like really cool to have this actually happen on screen. And I just need to say, if we don't get General Ramonda in Black Panther 2, I will riot. She was like the best part of this whole episode, and I just love seeing her in action. And as I'm watching this, I just kind of have to feel like there is a bit of a theme here of sort of like having blind trust, especially when it comes to your family. King T'Chaka instantly lets Killmonger into his good graces and into his trust. And in reality, we all know Killmonger is the last person King T'Chaka should be trusting. So I feel like there's a message that even though someone may be your family or close to it, it may always be a little bit of a smart idea to kind of proceed with caution. Also, just with trust in general, Killmonger has the trust of the United States Armed Forces and the trust of Wakanda, which is basically this powerhouse of a country. And together, all that trust allows Killmonger to kind of turn the world to chaos. And it can just kind of go to show what exactly can happen with misplaced trust. Also, at the end of the fight scene between these droids, basically, and the Wakandans, Killmonger stabs one of the Liberators basically at the location where a human heart would be located. Kind of like he just struck a major blow to the heart of the United States Armed Forces and all the systematic problems and issues that come with it. Towards the end of this episode, Killmonger is looking out at the sunset on his feet in victory instead of on his knees in defeat like he is in the Black Panther movie. Instead of watching the sunset with T'Challa, like in the live action movie, he's watching it with King T'Chaka. Something I did notice though is that for all these years, King T'Chaka very much did not want to open up Wakanda's borders because he did not trust how everyone, I guess, conducted themselves, and he just didn't think it was a good idea. But because Killmonger came back and, was a little bit more secretive about his dislike for Wakanda's choices, as well as the own killing of his father, and because he seemed to prove himself based on one fight that he was loyal to Wakanda, King T'Chaka changed his mind, which is something I found kind of interesting and also didn't find believable. But I found it interesting because at the end of Black Panther, King T'Challa actually makes the same decision to open up their resources to the rest of the world to make it a better place. And I just think it's kind of interesting that, in a way, Killmonger also wants this, but the steps he takes to get there are a bit more chaotic, which is the only word I can really think of to describe it. I just find it interesting to see how their different minds basically can come up with the same outcome. Just one is more peaceful and the other one involves a lot more violence.
You believe the cure for human suffering is more suffering.
The cure is power.
Power unarmed can be a very volatile force, cousin.
But Killmonger basically finesses King T'Chaka to letting him become the new Black Panther. And he is taken to the celestial plane, where instead of talking to his father, he actually talks to his cousin T'Challa. And T'Challa actually is one of the Panthers, and it's also a really nice tribute that, T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman are a couple of Panthers chilling in the tree in the celestial plane, which I thought was just really nice. And as I think about it more, it just kind of hits me really hard. So rest in peace, Chadwick. And we end the episode with a setup of having people basically be recruited to basically avenge Tony Stark, America's playboy at this point in time. We have General Ross say that he wants to launch Jericho's upon Wakanda, which is the missile that Tony Stark developed and we see used in the beginning of the Iron Man movie.
Coast, I want all Jericho missiles locked and loaded by 0600.
Yes, sir.
So war is coming in this timeline between what is the two greatest nations, cough cough America, not really the best, but whatever. Also, just shout out to Shuri for having the sense to know something is up with Killmonger and not be as blind as her parents are slash were slash is. I'm totally here for Shuri and Pepper to team up to kick both the United States Army's booty as well as Killmonger's. And at the end, the Watcher is actually back to being seen as a sort of celestial body. He is no longer close up center with the camera, or at least what is essentially the camera for the audience's perspective. I wonder if maybe he took a step back because he didn't like what he saw. I wonder if we may get to an episode where the Watcher is like very close to helping, like he's verbally interacting with the other characters, like when Doctor Strange basically turned evil, or half of Doctor Strange turned evil, where he sort of wants to help but actually refuses to help, and he might say a line similar to, humans always cause destruction, so why should I help you fix the destruction, kind of thing. So, humans are always destined to destroy themselves, is, I feel like, maybe what might happen in the future. That's just a guess, honestly. But I thought it was interesting that throughout these 6 episodes, we've seen the Watcher get closer and closer and closer, and now he's back. I thought that was really interesting and excited to see if they continue that sort of push and pull aspect in the future. Also, I just gotta say, as far as villains go, this was a pretty, I'll give Killmonger credit. He's pretty clever. And, with elaborateness of, his plan, you go to Afghanistan. You become undercover in the 10 Rings, and then you discover Obadiah's treachery, and you think, oh, I'll gain Tony Stark's trust by exposing Obadiah and saving his life. But then I'll also team up with Ulysses Claw for the vibranium to make my little army. And then I'll kill everyone who might know details, and then I'll kill my supplier because he stole vibranium from Wakanda, and then I'll bring that dead body to Wakanda and fight with them against my own army to gain the Wakandans' trust. And then I'll become the new Black Panther and have a lot of say over where the resources, materials go, and it'll go wherever I say them to go. Essentially, that's what it is. I do gotta say, that is a waste of an army, honestly. You built it because you wanted to destroy it later. But it was built with Stark technology, and I feel like you kind of had a problem with that, with the whole stabbing in the heart thing, or the mechanical heart, whatever. So that's whatever. But overall, this is my least favorite episode of the whole series so far. I gave it a 5 out of 10. It was cool to have an Iron Man and Black Panther crossover and to see more of Wakanda and everything like that. I thought that was really cool. But overall, it was kind of a miss for me. And I did think this was going to be one of the more interesting episodes because, what happens if, Tony Stark doesn't become Iron Man, but Tony Stark just continued to stay the kind of person I don't like. So probably why it was the 5 out of 10 for me. Well, guys, that was my breakdown of last week's episode of What If. Leave a like on the video. Comment what you thought about this episode. Was it a favorite? Was it not? What did you think of Killmonger's plan? Let me know in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell so you know when I post future reaction videos as well as breakdown videos. Well, guys, that's all I got for you today. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.